Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
And welcome back, everyone. Often have heard that staging is paramount if you want to sell your home, get the price you want for it. Maybe some of your decor is outdated. So you have somebody come in, stage it so it looks just, sell ready. I've always wondered how that's done. What's that look like? What goes into that? We found somebody vastly different than I ever imagined. Not only does she stage at one time 50 something homes, but she also is the woman behind a full service interior design firm. So kind of the most blended. She also has a store. Marty Wilkinson joins us again on the program. How you doing?
I'm great, Steve. How are you?
Wonderful. And I've
Good.
learned so much in talking with you, right down to the fact that you're homeless. You live in a staged home. Like, I think that's so incredibly cool. Where are you right now? I see pillows. Are you in like your warehouse or something?
I'm in our store. This is one room in our store where we sell accessories, pillows, furniture, consignment furniture, as well as new furniture. So
Wow.
I'm in a little corner.
And you brought some company along today. Who do we have?
This is my good friend and real estate agent, Liz Sheffield, from Barker Realty here in Santa Fe.
Wow. Welcome, Liz. How you doing?
I'm good, Steve. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm glad you're here because this is a different perspective. I've talked with Marty before about staging, got somewhat of a grasp on it, but you have it from the other side, from the real estate side. You're selling the homes that she stages. How much of a difference does it make when a home is staged?
110% difference. I've relied on Marty now for 24 years, and she's been my go-to with staging my homes, not only ones that are completely empty, but others that needed a lot of help. And she's been instrumental in my success.
Wow.
And, just getting the sellers to agree to do it, Marty is really good at helping with that as well.
Mm. Give an example or a description of a home that's currently for sale and is one that Marty staged. What does it look like?
Well, it's under contract right now, of course, and it was empty 100%. And it's really hard for a buyer oftentimes to walk into an empty shell, an empty room. And she comes in with her team, her expert team of movers, and basically puts in rugs, all the furnishings, the art, and accessories, and makes it, a really nice presentation for the buyer to walk into and imagine themselves living there, kind of with a clean palette. She doesn't overdo it with too much, so they can see the scale of the room and the positive attributes of each room. So she does a magnificent job at that.
How often have you seen people buy a house that was staged by Marty and then they decide we want it to look like this? We love this so much. This is what we want to do.
Well, I think Marty should give me a commission on her sales.
Yeah. That would be
Oftentimes,
that's often.
There you go.
oftentimes they have purchased many of the things, if not all of them, that she has put into that. Because a lot of homeowners in Santa Fe, particularly, are second homeowners, and it may be their first, second home, so they don't have the furnishings to furnish it. So,
Wow. Wow. It's so funny. I've often heard you want to make the home homey for sale. So, the smell of, let's say, an apple pie baking, light a candle and those kinds of things. And that does move the needle to make somebody feel that this is my home. But
I think Marty should start making some apple pies at my homes.
Good, right?
I'm going to ask you for that next time, Marty.
I'm going to start being a baker next. That's all I
um,
need. Yeah.
so how does the process work, Liz? Do you have the house? It's listed, they list with you, they sign, and how was the determination made to stage the home?
Well, oftentimes before the listing's even signed, that's part of my listing presentation is to bring in a professional stager that that's what they do for a living. That's what they know how to do is to sell homes. And getting them on board with that is key. So often that's part of my listing presentation
Well,
and an agreement that the seller will do that.
how is it
Marty will
funded? Is
Marty will come in and give them a bid, on her service and the product, and then she will have to talk to you more about how it's funded. But
Gotcha.
my sellers pay her.
Gotcha. That answers that. Okay. Um, how does the process work? I'm selling my house. Liz, you're my agent. This woman, Marty, is going to come in. I'm on board. Yeah, let's do it. Do I take all my belongings and just get rid of them? Put them in storage? How does that work?
Mar- Marty makes that decision as to what goes into storage and what does not. And some of the
Uh,
things that may not go into storage that they may want to dispose of, if she doesn't want to use it in the staging, she can oftentimes take it into her consignment store. Marty, is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Most of the time, if I'm using some of the client's furniture, or if it's good, I want to take it on consignment, I'll use it in the staging of the home generally. And then at the very end, when we move out, we can take the consignment pieces along with the rest of our inventory. Um, and
hmm.
usually if I'm asking a customer to remove things, it generally means that it's probably not something that I'd be interested in consigning, and it's not something that would really augment the staging. So,
Gotcha. And I would imagine too, if somebody's selling their house, they're they're going to take some of their belongings with them, so maybe they would put that in storage. And Liz, is it a lot of these homes that are staged? These are homes that are now have been vacated and for sale. Does anybody still live in a house that's staged?
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
yeah, it's
And that
probably
depends on if Marty allows it.
it's
Well,
prob-
it's your stuff.
Marty probably is living in one of their houses.
I know, right?
Hmm.
I would say, Liz, that well, from my standpoint, I would say that maybe 20% of the houses that we have staged, somebody lives in or somebody has left furniture. 80% plus usually are vacant. As Liz mentioned, there's a lot of second homeowners here in Santa Fe. So they've, either already bought another home, they've moved out, and usually it's vacant. So we have a blank palette to work
Wow.
with.
So I'm
Yes.
curious. I'm in between homes right now. So I'm price aware, and I'm fascinated by different markets. Liz, Santa Fe, what would you say is the average median home price in the Santa Fe area right now?
I'd say probably around 850 is my thinking
Yeah,
on that.
yeah. I'm on Long Island, and it's probably close to that, right in that wheelhouse. But here's the key question, and I know we're pivoting from staging for just a moment, but I'm curious. Average taxes for a house that's like 850. Again, average is a lot of latitude here, but just kind of curious.
Oh, Steve, I'm not a numbers guy. I'd have to get my computer out. The tax assessor's office has that formula. You just plug in the address and they'll tell you what your taxes will be.
I'm talking average. I'm talking average. I can tell you here, Long Island, you're not paying anything less than like for an average home, anything less than like 11K as your yearly taxes.
Oh, ours are much less than that. Santa Fe, historically speaking, our feeder market clientele are very happy with our tax rate. And one of the reasons that this is looked upon as a great second home investment is because of our taxes.
Steve may be moving to Santa Fe.
Yeah.
Well, if you need a realtor, let me know.
Like, seriously, it's like born and bred here. Long Island's great, whatever, but the taxes just does it does. I have a friend that just sold his home in Orlando, and I've been there, stayed a couple of times over the years. He had it like for 4 years, and nice neighborhood. He's got a lake pond in the back, big, huge, basic home, 3 bedrooms, 2 bath. His taxes are like maybe 3 grand, maybe if that. Wow, wow. I had to ask that question, and I'm actually sorry I did. But anyway, um, Marty, I'm still fascinated about your lifestyle. That you stage so many homes, live in one of them, you bounce around in that regard. You have a warehouse, you have the store. What would be next if you were to do something next that's on your radar? Is there anything that you would do?
be a singer. I actually really love singing, so I could be a singer next, but
Wow.
that would add to my repertoire. Or baking apparently is something that I need to be doing.
Well, apparently, yes. Help Liz sell those houses.
Yeah.
What do you want, Marty? What do you want people to know when it comes to staging? You're coming into their home. Um, you're going to change things around. What should we know? What should we aware of? Aware of? This is new for me. The whole staging thing. Yes, I know it's done. Never at your scale. I thought here and there it's a one-off kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing I want my clients to know is to let the professionals do their job. A lot of times when people sell their houses, they are attached to the house for various reasons. And so sometimes they have a
Mm,
hard time, letting somebody else come in and do what's best for the house because they've lived in it in a certain way, or they've arranged it in a certain way, or they've had a certain look in the home. So just, let the professional come in and take their advice as to what should be done. Because, if you're selling the home, you do need to let it go. You're not
mm.
going to be there anymore. So, mentally let the house go and let Liz, listen to Liz and what she's saying regarding pricing and where it should land in the market and what should be done to the house. I mean, Liz also sometimes recommends that the house be painted if it's got weird colors in it. So it's a lot more neutral, so it's easier for people to kind of just see the house and not look at rooms that are purple or red or orange. So she'll make those kind of suggestions as well. And then when I come in, as I mentioned, we stage for the house. We bring in, all of the furnishings that really augment the style and architecture of the house. So it feels somebody who wants to buy that house is going to want to buy that style of home. So we're going to be doing it the way it should be done in the first place.
So you brought up a point that I never even considered, and that's the paint. So when you come in, you stage a home, do you repaint some of the walls, or you leave that and then you work with everything else?
Well, it all depends on the client, but again, and Liz has encountered this too. Sometimes clients have painted rooms really crazy colors just because that's their personal
Yep.
taste, if
Yep.
you will. And when it comes to selling the home, it's harder to sell a room when we can stage it and make the color make sense. Um, but if the client listens to the professionals, we're probably going to suggest that we bring it back to a neutral envelope, if you will, so that, everybody can imagine themselves living there.
You bring back memories. I sold a house 2 years ago, and I was in it for 8. And when I first bought it, they previously had a very small fire, but they got to redo a lot. It was a new kitchen, new roof, everything was fantastic. I won in that regard. Their color choices, no exaggeration here. One bedroom, hot pink. The other one, bright teal. And they loved it. They were proud. Look at we love these colors. And I couldn't wait to just change the color. It was, and it was a big challenge too, because even if you're going to paint it even a light gray, you still have that, when you cut in the corners, you still see a little bit of that green. You have to work even harder to hide, those colors. But it's amazing what, and you know what? The interior designer told me this, that it was probably because they were older folks and their eyes don't see it the way somebody a little bit younger might see it. So they don't see it as this bright, crazy color. They see it as, something kind of nice and a little bit different. Never even took that into consideration, but you must see everything, Marty and Liz, when you're working in this area.
So, Steve, can we get back to the taxes?
No.
Looked
Oh,
it up.
go ahead.
So, here's an example: 1,529,000 is the list price, so 1.5 million, and the taxes will be $11,000. So that's a less than 1%.
Wow.
That's
Amazing.
kind of why it's kind of a mute point to so many buyers that come in here, right? It's low.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's low, especially, you have a house of that value. I don't know the property size, but let's say half acre, just go average,
Mhm.
um, on Long Island. And I'm not talking in like, the North Shore of Long Island, which is, the Gold Coast. I'm not talking about the Hamptons. I'm just talking, 1.2, 1.5 mil house. Easy 20K in taxes. I don't see anything less than that. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So you should move to Santa Fe,
And I
Steve.
bet, and I'm not, knocking Long Island. I'm just stating facts. I'll bet you Santa Fe, the roads are much better and cleaner and maintained. I'm just saying, this is what I see here. Doesn't really look like that.
I'm sorry, I'm laughing, but when I first moved to Santa Fe, if you had a multi-million dollar house, a lot of times it's on a dirt road. So
Hmm.
go figure here.
It's a clean dirt road, though, Marty.
Yeah, it is. It's
Yeah.
clean, but hey, that's how you tell if it's an expensive home, if it's on a dirt road.
And I thought I was getting a bargain in 2014 when I bought this house and had, yeah, almost three quarters. And I renovated the entire backyard, redid everything. But when I got it, the taxes were just around 9 back then. And I was on a cul-de-sac. So it all was a win there. And even when I sold it, I think that's 2 years ago, I think the taxes were up to like 12 and change at that time. Oh, wow. Wow. Interesting around the country when you look at different areas. In Santa Fe, the weather, the a culture, all of that. Lizzie, you originally from that area?
No, I moved here 24 years ago from Dallas, Texas.
Oh, wow. Okay. Wow.
Mhm.
What do you find that people are looking for in terms of houses now in that area? And as Marty told me before, there's different types of homes. There's a certain style in Santa Fe, but what do they tell you they want?
Well, I think the main thing that they're looking for is just the quality of lifestyle change. And a lot of times buyers don't know what they want until they see it. There's an old expression, buyers are liars. It's not because they're lying. It's just they
Mm,
don't really know what they want until they start exploring. Oftentimes I'll have someone tell me that they want to live in town and they end up buying outside of town because of the views and
mm,
you get more for your money. And so it just kind of depends on what their lifestyle is and what they want it to be, or at least what they think they want it to be. And probably the biggest obstacle for many homeowners when they move to Santa Fe is trying to decide whether they want in town or out
mm.
of town. And out of town is oftentimes 10 to 12 minutes from downtown. So we're not talking a huge area, but it's a big deal for some of these folks to try to make that decision.
Mm.
It's all good,
Oh
you
Yeah.
yeah,
know, it's
yeah.
all good.
Well, it's like you don't know until you know, and I think it's the same when you meet the perfect person in your life. You know it when you see them. So when you roll up on that house, you already feel, this could be the one, and then you're inside looking around. Wow, it's getting better, and then they pull a trigger. But you got to go through a
Stephen, that's
few.
exactly right. A lot of times it's, them finding where they want to be location wise. It usually falls down to falling in love with the house.
Mm,
And, we have a wide variety of homes here now, especially with our traditional Santa Fe style home, which many people are attracted to and love. But the newer homes are more of a contemporary modern edge, cleaner lines. And so, a lot of it depends on whether they really want the Santa Fe style or want that more modern look.
So Liz, I have to ask you, your ceiling where you are now is what I would expect typically in a home in Santa Fe. I don't know why, but it kind of, if it just looks like it would be from that area. What's that roof called? That style of architecture?
Well,
Yeah,
can you see that roof right
yeah,
there?
with the beam. Yeah, wow. I didn't
Yeah.
see the what was going across there. I was just seeing the long beams. Interesting.
Yeah.
I think I lost you though. I'm moving my computer.
Oh, we're here. We see you. Can you hear us? Uh-oh.
Oh,
Well, they're
It-
called,
there
they're
you
actually
go.
called,
I found you.
yeah,
okay.
there you go. Vigas. And
Hmm.
it looks like there's Latias in between the Vigas
Yes.
in that
Those are
particular.
those are Latias and Vigas. The
Yeah.
round is called the Viga,
Uh-huh.
And the wood between the round is the latia.
Wow. Wow.
Very beautiful.
Yeah, it's classy rustic. If I had to label the style, classy rustic. Hmm.
Yeah, and some of the modern amenities that are available now really make a nice blend with our traditional Santa Fe style and kind of bringing it up a little bit more to the modern taste and appeal. So it's a nice blend. Good bones.
What I detect from both of you is a lot of passion, and it looks like you both truly love what you do.
I do.
24 years.
Yeah.
It's the biggest gift is the people that I get to work with, from all over the country, all different lifestyles, all different backgrounds, all different financial situations, and to be able to help them realize their dream, because this is typically a quality of life move, not a transfer because of a job. And so
Hmm.
getting them here and helping them with that process is a true gift.
And when you think about it, you both have a hand in changing somebody's life.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, we
Exactly.
do for
Wow.
sure.
Sometimes we forget, the impact we make on, others, but, both of you, Marty, right down to the staging where they maybe that's what they want in their house. They'll be thinking of the job you did every single day for the rest of till further notice, and that could be decades. And same thing with you, Liz. You'd be on their mind at some point as they're walking the dog or going out to get the mail or whatever it might be, that it was because of you two that their life changed and is wonderful, in this area. It's got to make you feel good.
Yeah, some of my closest friends now are past customers. What a
Wow.
gift.
Yeah,
Wow.
me too. Me too. Yeah. My clients a lot of times become good friends. So
Wow.
yeah.
I want to share the website if anybody's looking for staging in your area or interior design advice or consultation. I'm sure, Marty, you can work with anybody anywhere. We are here virtually.
Yeah,
Stageyourlife.net, is that right?
that's correct. Uh-huh.
Gotcha. And Liz, you want to share some contact info if somebody's looking to move in that area?
Yeah, absolutely. Liz Sheffield with Barker Realty, 505-660-4299. Would love to hear from you, or you could go to my website, lizsheffield.com.
Final question. Have you guys had snow yet?
We have.
We have our ski resort is open. So yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting. Not yet here, in New York, but dusting the other day, but yeah, it's coming. Just kind of curious. Wonderful talking with you both. Appreciate all the insight and looking forward next time we get together.
Thanks,
Thank you, Steve.
Thank
All
you.
right.
We'll be right back.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned.
This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.